man. Common man, charge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Some tags, only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
Well done, young man.
Purple pride, purple pride.
Okay. Give me that fish. Give me the fish. You only just give me the piece. What if it were you hanging up on the floor? And if it were you and that thing, you can't see me at all.
Capriza.
In fact, isn't Milwaukee an Indian name?
Yes, Pete, it is. Actually, it's pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land.
We can't start winning until we stop losing.
And that's ridiculous. Border battle! And he's loose!
I'm going to say something controversial here.
That's interesting.
A dog with a note in his mouth should be able to sell those ratings.
Super Bowl, homeboy.
Yes! Take that! He has no chance!
You say.
I just want to say, you doubted us, but now we're here.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
Indeed I am. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. And if I'm supposed to be somebody else, why do I look like me? That's Popeye the Sailor Man, circa 1922. The Grum begins in 5, actually, through the 5 sounds like more than 4, 2, 1. Greetings, good afternoon. We're here until 3, and a lot of people are saying, why don't you just leave now? That was I remember this old bit. This is boomer humor. It's like, you got to remember this is about a stagecoach. So it's like, hey, you're so funny, you should be on the stage. There's one leaving at 12 noon. Hey, I don't use that in Flop, Sweat, and Tears anymore. I used to use that back in the olden days when I was working in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma. So I attended a retirement party yesterday, Tennessee, for...
Was that Mark Rosen's 20th retirement party?
It wasn't for Mark Rosen. It was for my dentist, Dr. Tom Cornelison. He retired at age 65 after a wonderful year. He's had a couple of so-called celebrity patients. I'm on the D list. But he mentioned a couple of other people he's had as patients before. And it was over at the Posh and Tony Edina Country Club over there in Meesauce's neighborhood, right? So I show up right at 6. It's like 6 until 8. And, of course, I see Tom, and I greet him, congratulate him. I'm going to take him out on a retirement golfing round here once spring comes. But and then I knew a couple of the gals from the office. Also, my oral surgeon was there, the guy that took a chunk out of my gum last summer to see if I had mouth cancer. But I didn't. It was just the reason there was some issue was because I've been putting my foot in my mouth for all these years. It's called foot and mouth, similar to hoof and mouth, if you're familiar with that. But so I didn't know many people there, so I didn't stay long. I had, they had some hors d'oeuvres, and, of course, I told bartender guy, said, I don't drink. He goes, you want to be the first customer? I said, I don't drink anymore. He goes, well, I got soda pops and other beverages. And I said, no, thanks. And then I came up later. I said, anybody cause any, you have to cut anybody off. Anybody cause any trouble? He goes, well, we've only been open for 24 minutes. I said, well, I'm just checking. So I spent a lot of my time talking to the employees at the Edina Country Club. They had like event supervisor gal, and then they had a couple of bartenders, and then they had a couple of people that would wander around and, like take your plate. You just had your hors d'oeuvre, and they come and take your plate, right? So I found myself kind of hanging out with those folks, what you might consider the common people, right? The workers. And so, I basically told them right away, I really don't belong here. This is, I'm here for the retirement party, and I'm delighted, but I don't know many people here. So if you don't mind, I might want to hang out with you guys a little bit. And they said that would be fine. And then I said, here's the issue. You don't like to make a big deal when you leave a place, right? I learned something. Tennessee, this is my segment. You learn something new every day, right? Have you ever heard of an Irish goodbye?
An Irish goodbye? No.
You know what an Irish goodbye is? And I don't know why it's called an Irish goodbye. And they didn't know, but they told me. It's when you leave without saying goodbye to anybody.
Sure.
And I don't know why it's called an Irish goodbye. Maybe that's what the Irish do, is they don't say goodbye. And I'd never done that, and I couldn't do it. I had to go to Dr. Tom and say, hey, thanks for having me. Congratulations. Then I said, goodbye to his wife, and then, a couple of people from the office. But I like the idea of it. And when you're at a big event like that, you can't say goodbye to everybody. Many people don't care if you leave. As a matter of fact, some probably wish you would leave, right? But I explained without getting into too great a detail, that I said, well, oftentimes I've been at an event where at the end of the whatever it is, a going away party, or it's a rube party in this case, the band will start to play. And I told them about, I wouldn't call this what would you call this, a rube goodbye? Because you know what I do. I do my duty. My due diligence. We're required to be at the rube party, and I enjoy being at the rube party. I like seeing the rubes. I verbally slap them on the back. They touch the hem of the garment. We talk a little of this, a little of that, with the emphasis on the last. But then once that part is over, and the Chris Hockey, and I love the Chris Hockey Band. I've worked with them up at Grandview. They've done a couple of golf openers and closers. All right, so I love the Chris Hockey Band. I love the Flaming Armadillos. I like Rocket Club. I like every band he's ever been in. But my bit is, like, once that music starts, then all of a sudden that's my exit stage. I got to get the teeth in the glass. It's usually about 9 o'clock when this comes around, right? Then I do the old fist pump and I slowly, as I'm pumping my fist like I'm really getting to the music, I slowly back away toward the back of the room, a little farther, and then, boom, I duck out the door. And Chad Abbott waits for it every time because he knows it's coming. And everybody sort of kind of does. I don't know. I would call that a rube goodbye, right? Like an Irish goodbye, the same thing. So I did learn something, but it was a delightful time. And I like my new dentist. So there you go. It's funny. Once you get to a certain age in your life, the people that you've depended upon and counted on for a long time, they start to retire. It'll happen to you eventually, Tenneby. You've depended upon me and counted on me, and one of these days I'm going to
I've already got that party planned.
Wait, hold on.
We got all the details. We got the venue picked out.
Go ahead.
The theme of the party.
It's Thursday today, Tenneby.
Yes.
What are the 4 greatest words in sports? Pitchers.
Oh, I thought you were saying game
catchers.
7. Report.
Happened today. I wish it was pitchers, catchers, and talk show hosts in their bridge producers report as well. It's right now, I think, 3 below zero here in Minneapolis. Looking at the weather forecast in Fort Myers right now, it's 84 degrees and feels like 90. Feels like 90. No precipitation, partly cloudy, humidity 63%, wind at 11 miles per hour, and the air quality is good. Think about that.
How annoyed is Rosen that he's not down there right now?
I would just be excited and delighted. We probably should have put together, again, we have to get it sponsored, but we should have planned a spring training. Maybe we should do that for next year. Because you know how much we love the Twins and have always appreciated their efforts at trying to win world titles. I think we should probably do that. But yeah, weather's real nice. Pitchers and catchers reported. I don't think we've heard any word out of spring training other than what I've heard the preview, the lead up to it. Baldelli loves exactly where the team is. He thinks it's terrific. Lavelle thinks we have one of the top 10 pitching staffs in all of baseball. They're selling hopium, folks. The hopium is on sale right now, and plenty of it. And I don't know if Lavelle really believes that. I kind of think what he's doing is he knows that's what his readers want to read.
He's playing to them, playing to his audience.
I think he's playing to his audience. He's saying they want to hear something positive about the Twins, so I'll talk about how good their pitching staff is. And then if our trio of our middle of the lineup, Arlu, Correa, and Buxton stay healthy, got a pretty darn good team. Is what we've got here.
A lot of ifs right there.
That's the problem. There are a lot of ifs. The other thing that
they should change their names to the Minnesota Ifs.
Or how about the Minnesota What Ifs? What if we spent more money? Here's the one thing I did see that I had not heard until I read the piece about. It was a Q&A with Rocco.
Yes.
And Royce Lewis is going to play third base. And remember, they wanted to try to, they were trying to get him some playing time at second. But I guess the way they're looking at it, and it probably makes sense, Tenneby. If one of your so-called stars, one of your better players, a guy you're really depending upon, if that's what he wants to do, if he wants to play third base.
That's where he's comfortable.
If he's comfortable there, let him play third. He can't boot it around too many times, right? And guess what? Second base isn't that difficult. The only difference is you got to short a throw to first, and you got to learn to turn a double play. It's not that big of a deal. I've done it all. The worst thing to do is to be in the outfield standing for 9 innings. That's what's difficult.
You got to build up some stamina to work your way up to that.
You are exactly right, and that's what they'll be doing in spring training. Let's do this. We've got a keyword Tenneby's going to do, and then I've got controversial Vikings news on the other side of the break, and so much more to get to on this pre-Valentine's Day edition of the Common Man program right here on the Fan. 10 of that keyword.
Yeah, the Fan wants to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword PAY at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. The keyword is PAY. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Wolves.
Join the Power Trips Meat Sauce and Miller Lite at Maple Tavern in Maple Grove tonight from 5 to 7. Stop by to register for a chance to win a spot in the Vikings Foundation Golf Tournament. Get the full details now at KFAN.com. Keyword golf.
A couple of 13-14 past here on the Common Man program. On the Common Man, Dan Cole. He's Tenneby. 5:34 at the top of the hour. Tenneby will grill me with all sorts of sports as your whole life. Just sports questions. I'll be listening with half an ear. I usually use that time. I'm really not listening, just waiting for my chance to talk. And you would think it would be better if I listened because I'm supposed to be talking with answers to questions he's asked, but I'm busy eating my lunch, which seems to be more important to me. 1:30, we will unveil the winners of our Say-In games. It's Preposterous Statement Tournament, Triple V, Double I. Our Say-In matchups were revealed yesterday. We actually revealed them the day before during the selection show, but then they were put up for vote for the first time yesterday. We'll have those results, and then we'll have our pairings for our next matchups, all first-round activity, as we march toward our way to crown a Preposterous Statement Tournament champion, our 17th. Tommy Olson, I think, did we say he's the only two-time winner? No one else has won twice? He is a 2-time winner. Remind me, did he get a nomination this year? I don't believe
he did.
He may have, but he didn't make the field anyway. So, and you would think if he did get a nomination, he would make the field because 95% of what he says apparently is preposterous. But that's coming up at 1:30, and then the legendary Mark Rosen will be joining us at 2 o'clock, and we'll ask him a little of this, a little of that, with the emphasis on the lat. Time for a peek at the purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. There's no sign of a let-up in the cold weather. We're going to be below zero overnights next week as well. Affordable Electric can help you stay warm. They can install fixed electric baseboard heaters, fan-forced heaters, and in-floor heat mats and cables. Affordable Electric wires furnaces and boilers, dedicated circuits and receptacles for portable heaters, and electric infrared heaters. And don't let those pipes burst. They can make sure that they don't burst and freeze up during the cold weather. Reach out today, affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric, shockingly affordable. These are some of my favorite stories in sports when they always, the National Football season has just ended, and already they're saying, what are the power rankings for the 2025? Or, the list of the best quarterbacks never to have won a Super Bowl. It's like, well, anybody can put that list together. See, I would say Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow would be my top 3, right? Tend to be, and then you can whittle down from there, best quarterbacks, not. But I do like this one. This is from CBS Sports. They are the kings of list radio. 5 teams poised to take a major fall in 2025. The NFL had its fair share of surprises in 2024, starting with the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings winning 14 games, and the Washington Commanders making the conference championship game for the first time since 1991. League also had some disappointment, starting with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets plummeting to 5 wins. Well, that wasn't disappointing. Matter of fact, I thought it was absolutely... But wins and losses are in the eyes of the beholders, right? The 49ers, too, that was disappointing after they went from a conference championship to only 6 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Which teams appear due for a free fall in 2025? Free falling. We should have done that, or else tailspin. Of course, we're not allowed to do that. Though I guess we can if we send you into the studio afterwards and you spend 4 hours chopping up tape.
Makes the podcast sound bad, though.
Yeah. I still think there'll be a time or two we might want to do. If I'm really excited about a song, we'll do it. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's worth it.
I thought you and I singing was just as effective as Tom Petty.
Well, I do too. But I'm itching to do a Dylan duet again someday, like the Operator. I played it on the way home yesterday. I go through my playlist. It's sad how the same songs pop up, and there's these ancient songs from 1971, 1968. I mean, a handful pop up from the late 70s, which that's really me, that's, for me, that's not even going that far into the distant past. But 2012, and CBS Sports apparently they put a little bit of work into this, or a little bit of thought. It's not just, what they did last year or the year before, but, also like, well, what's the schedule look like in the upcoming season, And again, these lists are relatively harmless because, again, we don't know what any of these teams are going to do as far as free agency goes, the National Football League draft, whatever the case may be. But number 1 on their list are the Minnesota Vikings. As a team that, as the headline says, 5 teams poised to take a major fall in 2025. Now, that's clickbait because here's what they say. This is the best part. Minnesota Vikings 14-3. The biggest surprise in the NFL last season appears to be primed for a drop-off. While Minnesota did win 14 games last season, the Vikings lost their final 2 games by a combined 40 points. They weren't that far out of either one of those games, but I'll spare you the bit. This includes the wild card playoff loss to the LA Rams, who had a negative point differential last season. Minnesota needs to figure out the QB situation. I think they already have. As Sam Darnold's a free agent, Jay McCarthy is waiting in the wings as the team's first-round pick from a season ago. If the Vikings go with McCarthy, hard to fathom he'll help this team win 14 games in year 1 as a starter coming off of ACL surgery. Hold on. Yeah, I know. And I love pop-up ads. They're the greatest things I've ever seen. There's talent on this Minnesota team, but the NFC North has strong teams in it, and the conference has too many teams that can win double-digit games. This is a team poised for a drop-off, and then they go even if it's a slight one. So the headline is major drop-off, and then you see the Vikings go, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Then they even admit at the end, well, they're probably poised for a drop-off, even if it's a slight one. And it is, I think, it does raise some interesting issues when you do think about going into last season. I think, except everybody in the locker room, of course. Everybody in the, you know what, of course, I said I thought it was going to be the Vikings and the Falcons in the NFC Championship game, and you're on your own after that. But everybody else, except the guys in the locker room, we all kind of felt, well, it's going to be hard. He's coming off a 7-10 season. Sam Darnold, old Sam Darnold has an arm. He hadn't had much success anywhere. So there were a lot of question marks regarding the team, and then they went 14-3. So, yeah, you would just think it would be hard to go back to 14-3. It's hard to duplicate seasons like that for any team, no matter how good they are. At 14-3 is a gaudy record, man. And it does. You have to look at the schedule. I think obviously, the biggest, to me, the biggest deciding factor in how the team will play will be what they do at quarterback. I'm assuming it's going to be McCarthy.
That's my assumption as well. I feel like he's like my best friend. I know so much about him, right? I mean, we know everything he's done. He was brilliant in high school, brilliant in college. All he does is win. I think, wasn't there a number that they posted that in his entire football career as a starting quarterback, he's like 66-3? It's literally, astonishing.
It's an astonishing record. He's only lost like 3 football games as a quarterback. So he's a winner, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't always translate to the National Football League. And I know that you talk about your small sample sizes. He played one preseason game against a bunch of other,
second and third teamers,
guys that were just drafted. And yet he posted some really nice numbers. But what they do say there, the North is going to be tough. The NFC, you'd expect Philadelphia to stay sort of kind of where they are, right? I don't expect they'll fall off the face of the earth. Washington looks like they're poised to continue playing some pretty good football. And then you got your usual suspects. Tampa's pretty talented. I don't know what they'll do in the offseason. I don't know what their free agent. I'm not looking closely at any of these other teams. The Rams made a nice run late, even though we're 10-7. Though there's rumors Stafford might be leaving there. But yeah, I think that the Vikings would be one of those teams that's poised for a drop-off. And I think how far that drop, if there is even a drop-off. And to me, a drop-off, if you're still 11-6, that's a pretty good record. That'll probably qualify for the playoffs. So even 2 or 3 games less, I don't expect it to be much less than that unless they can't fill middle of the offensive line with some quality players. And if it takes McCarthy a little bit longer to adjust to the NFL game, but we'll have to wait and see. Peak of the Purple brought to you by our friends at affordable-electric.com. They're shockingly affordable. I got some great Valentine's Day ideas for you. Tend to be on the other side of the break because I know it's your favorite holiday and mine as well. We'll do that next. Common Man program on the Fan. Alice Cooper.
Check out our contest page to see how you can enter to win a pair of passes to an early screening of the new thriller Last Breath, starring Woody Harrelson and Simu Liu. In theaters February 28th. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter today.
Kendrick. Yo. I love when people are paying attention. It is crazy. There are a number of ways you can contact us here at the Fan. There's the old telephone thing. I've told you before that we never pick it up, but go ahead and give it a shot. We do if it's a contest. 1-800-320-5326. Booth at KFAN.com is our email address. The talkback, again, I keep forgetting to do talkbacks. We should get back into that. Speaking of back, talkback, get back into the talkbacks. That's iHeartRadio app, search stations, find the fan. When you do, you'll see a microphone icon, corner of the screen. Tap it 30 seconds or less to delivers an audio message. Then there's the Bradshaw Bryant KFAN Holla Hotline / text hotline 64686. Several people said, whatever article you're reading, the poison is just making things up as they go along. Maybe he should be on the grum. He didn't have anterior cruciate ligament surgery. Here's another one. Well, Carly didn't have major ACL surgery. He tore his meniscus, which is cartilage, not a ligament. Here's another. I can't find it now, but they're right. That's why I went back and read it. That's what the guy said. So I apologize. I'm spreading misinformation, fake news. But I think people still get the drift. Anybody coming back from any kind of an injury, never played, he hasn't played in the pros before, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that is neither here nor there.
But there is a difference in the severity of those injuries.
Absolutely there is. But we would never worry about those kinds of things on the ground because if people are coming here for accuracy, you've come to the wrong place. So we're here for nonstop nonsense, tomfoolery, and skullduggery. Tenby, I can't remember with you if Valentine's Day is like special to you, special to your gal, special to the both of you. Neither of you care. How do you handle Valentine's Day in your relationship?
I would say neither of us really care.
Okay.
But I am making an effort, at least for my daughter, to make her Valentine's Day special. So, so I'll get her a little something.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
My wife loves Valentine's Day.
Like I told you before, my wife and I are in anniversaries in 13 days as well. So it's kind of like, just save it for the anniversary.
My wife loves Valentine's Day. It's probably her favorite holiday. And she's a hopeless romantic. Probably married the wrong guy for that. But, I do my best, right? And, we've talked about this before. This comes up matter of fact, what I did a couple of times over the years is I'll go to one of the Hallmark stores and I'll take out my handheld computer, which doubles as a communication device, and I'll take pictures of the front of a greeting. I'll just randomly take the picture of the front of it, and then you open it up and it's got the message inside. And the reason I do this, they're pretty cheesy, right? I mean, they get to the point. As a matter of fact, they often say things that no male would ever even think of saying, and it's just not him. And I get the idea as well. These are the words that every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I have to say I love you in a song. So the words just come out wrong. None of us can be that eloquent and, quite frankly, that cheesy, right? And this, if I think about it, this is what I would have said. This is what I mean. And I've never liked giving my gal those kinds of cards because it just seems insincere or disingenuous, right? It just doesn't seem like it. And so I always try to look for ones that are a bit more simple than that, but you could spend hours looking for those.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to leave it up to Grok, right? Artificial intelligence, courtesy of X. So I typed in Valentine Day message examples. Here's what Grok came up with, Tennessee. For romantic partners, which isn't that who I guess, for daughters, but don't you just usually only give a Valentine to a romantic partner? I'm not going to give one to Lil B, but maybe you can because this says you can. But anyways, for romantic partners, happy Valentine's Day, my love. Every moment with you feels like a celebration of love.
Oh.
Here's the next one. To the person who makes my heart skip a beat. Happy Valentine's Day. Here's to many more shared sunsets. How about sunrises? Here's another. I'm not making this up. This is what Grok did. Roses are red. Violets are blue. My love for you grows with each passing day. It doesn't even rhyme.
No, what's up with that?
Happy Valentine's Day. I mean, think about you past that. You go, well, your significant other, you might be an ex-significant other. I mean, you can't even rhyme. You can't find a word to rhyme with blue. Roses are red, violets are blue. My love for you grows. And I would say, It will always be true. Not.
Or every day or two.
Yeah, not with each passing day. Then they have them for friends. Happy Valentine's Day to my amazing friend. Here's to our friendship. That's as sweet as chocolate. What if I gave you that? Going to be a card that's.
Should we start giving these to our guy friends?
Sending you lots of love this Valentine's Day because friends like you are truly a treasure. Who needs a sweetheart? One of a friend like you. Oh. Well, I got there's a couple of reasons why, but I guess I'll leave that for everybody else to guess. Happy Valentine's Day. Well, then I thought tend to be, I do like to personalize them a little bit more. So let's type in, hold on, let me get out of Grok for a second. I'm going to go back to Grok. And let's ask Grok, Valentine's Day message for the gal you met at WeFest. Okay, let's see what it says here. Happy Valentine's Day to the amazing woman I met at WeFest. I'm so glad our paths crossed amidst all that music and magic. Here's to more adventures and making new memories together. Cheers to you and to us. Happy Valentine's Day to the amazing woman I met at WeFest. I'm so glad our paths crossed amidst all that music and magic. Then it says it has add a personal touch. Okay. All right. I'm glad we met at WeFest, so let's add a personal touch. Let's do, remember when, because that's a camping thing, right?
Yeah.
Remember when we had that Winnebago rockin'? Let's see what it says here. Happy Valentine's Day, the one who made our Winnebago rock at WeFest. Here's to more rocket adventures and sweet moments together. Cheers to you, my love.
I always love that one.
So now see that? Now we're getting somewhere, right? WeFest. You know, if the Winnebago's rocking, don't bother knocking.
I'll never forget when we locked eyes right outside the porta potties.
You're right outside. And then it says Winnebago model, so I can actually. Oh no! Then it just starts talking about. I thought it was going to say in my Winnebago 4.683 Chieftain or something like that. So the personalization of it, I kind of like, right? And you know, how far can you take that? You met your gal here at the radio station, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I mean, wasn't she working here and you were working
yes.
here? Or had you met her previous to that? You say kind of.
I mean, I technically met her at I believe it was actually Doogie's birthday party. So I met her at a bar restaurant downtown Minneapolis. But I think I had known that she'd worked here, but never really crossed paths with her.
Was that at that newspaper place?
Yeah.
See how I remember things? What was the name? What's the name of that?
I think it was called The Newspaper.
Is it still around? Do we know?
I have
Do
no
we have
idea.
any indication? Oh, I took Potato and the boys there one time. We had something. It was good. I liked it. Liked it a lot. I met my wife at work as well. We were both working at that radio station in Forest Lake. We were broadcasting live from WeFest. We really weren't at WeFest, but I met her at the radio station.
Is that when the Winnebago was rocking?
Yeah. She was a disc jockey. She just got out of Brown Institute and thought she wanted to be a disc jockey. And I was the grizzled news reporter, anchor, sports guy. And so we met there. But yeah, so the
Are you shocked of the two of you that you're the one still in radio of the two of you?
No, she was good at it, but I think it was one of those things where you know how this business, it's hard to go town to town, up and down the dial, and just climb the ranks. And we have, I mean, when you look at all the people that work here, This is your first radio job, major market radio.
Yes.
JG, major market radio. Dan Barrero, major market radio.
Corey Cove.
Corey Cove, major market radio. PA, major market radio.
Meat Sauce.
Nordo, Meat Sauce. Cove. I think Hawkey did some town to town up and down the dial, and I did as well. Great Falls, Montana, to Ottumwa, Iowa, to Forest Lake, Minnesota, to Cambridge, Minnesota, to Kemmer, Wyoming, to Huntsville, Texas, back to Kemmer, back to Cambridge, back to Forest Lake, and then here. I always forget I worked one day at KANO Anoka. One day. It was the 4th of July. I wasn't fired or anything. What happened was I worked the one shift. I was just going to do some part-time stuff. And then Monday came around, and I got the call from the Forest Lake radio station and said, let's have you come in for an interview. So they'd already known me because they'd already fired me once before. Why they asked me back, I don't know. But, so you have the town to town up and down the dial kind of a thing. And let's just say the Radio Romeo thing kind of precedes me. I mean, it wasn't just in Forest Lake. Let's just say... Let's just say I had some luck with the ladies as a disc jockey. Well, they hear those dulcet tones coming over those top. Here's Tainted Love by Soft Cell. Phone's ringing off the hook. I got stories I could tell you that I can't really tell you. The time when the guy... No, I can't do it. I've got a reputation to uphold, Tennessee, and I'm not going to go down that road about... Let's just say we laughed, we cried, best of times, worst of times, and all those things like that. So, yeah, so I did, though. I went ahead, found a nice little card. Here's the other thing you do. This is what you do. It's a trick I learned. Don't just select one card. Get 3 or 4, and then keep them at home so in case you do forget. Or you don't see something you like. You just they're not going to know. They're not dated like when they were made. It doesn't say they created in 2020, you know. So you get a couple of them.
Is there not like a copyright on the back of the card or anything?
There may be. I don't know. Another guy, you know what somebody sent me once? And I don't know if it went anywhere. It was a guy, I think it was locally, started a company where he would send you a box of cards, right? That covered every single holiday. So Christmas, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, birthday, and gave you several different options. So you would buy that, they'd ship it to your house, and there you've got it. You're right there, and so you just go, let's see now, let's get out the old box. And they gave you so many that would last for years. So you never had to go shopping again. Yeah. You just open up and you go, let's see, what's my message this time? Yeah, I kind of like that one for this year. So you sign that one, put it in. They were, how should I say this? They weren't the highest quality.
Sure.
Right? You know, they weren't like you know, when you go to, have you bought a Valentine's Day card lately or Mother's Day card?
Yeah, bought one already. Yeah,
$9, $10.
Yeah.
Depending upon which ones you buy, they're asking an arm and a leg for them. No, it almost costs more to get a Valentine with a heart on it than it would a heart transplant. But it's well worth it because you know what? Tell me when it comes to, how about this, Fergus? When it comes to love, money is no object.
Oh.
That might be a nice greeting card. And then slip $5 in the card and give it to her. Money's no object.
Your love is priceless.
Your love is, I like that. Your love is priceless. I always thought, maybe we've talked about this too, being greeting card writer guy, right? It's sort of like back in the old days, like, you know who Neil Diamond is, right?
Yes.
Neil Diamond.
Sweet Caroline.
You know how his career started? He was just sitting in a little cube writing songs for other people. Like, you know, the group The Monkees? He wrote like 50, 60% of their songs. He wrote those songs. And then he told the publishing house, he said, you know, I think I want to record my own songs. And they said, good luck with that. So knock yourself out. They wanted nothing to do with them. And look at him now. So he's sold, you know, blah. We don't know how successful he was, right? But so he was just working at a place where you just pound out songs and people record them. So you know there's guys just sitting in a cubicle pounding out Valentine's Day messages. And I'm sure...
How many of them are recycled from like a decade ago?
Right. Hey, can you see, like, let's say, Tennessee, you and I are working there, and I go, Hey, Ted, wait till you get a load of this one. I mean, it's almost like they're probably trying to go as over the top,
outdo each other,
sappy and syrupy as they possibly can. You're not going to believe what I just came up with here. Roses are reds, violets are blue. Happy Valentine's Day. I mean, it's like, so I don't know, but it's a wonderful thing. And then think about this. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, Friday. Good luck getting a reservation if you didn't get one like about 2-3 weeks ago, right? But, you know, my wife and I are kind of pros at it now, right? Because, you know, you get to a point in your relationship, it doesn't, I mean, you present, you give her the card, the roses, the chocolates.
The Arthur's Jewelers.
And the negligee. You give those on Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah,
but you
baby.
don't have to go out to dinner on Valentine's Day. As a matter of fact, my wife and I have already planned a week from Saturday is when we're going to go out and do our Valentine's Day thing, have a nice dinner, maybe go out to a show, something like that. It's just, you know, but when you're young,
wild, and free,
you want to make sure it's on that day because that's what everybody else is doing. It's almost like a kind of keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing. You know, got all of her girlfriends, they're doing the same thing. You know, they're celebrating Valentine's Day, so I guess we have to too. But good luck to you on the Valentine's Day. Here's a text message. My wife would prefer a $5 bill over a card. Here's another one that says, morning show took your guys' bit of AI music this morning. Well, we understand that thievery is the sincerest form of flattery. I would say, Tennessee, you and I are partly responsible for that 30 share. Did I just say 30?
Did they do an AI-related Valentine's Day song? Could we just make up our own corny, sappy Valentine's Day song?
Let's do that. Why don't we go ahead and do that right now?
Or did they already do that? I didn't listen.
I don't know. I missed it this morning. One of the rare times I missed the power trip. The power trip. Just saying it. Don't you start laughing. Power trip morning show. They're so wacky in the morning. Can you hear the envy and the jealousy dripping from my lips? That's really not. It's just saliva. I'm getting hungry, as a matter of fact. I need to get my lunch warmed up. Someone said, just send her a picture of a Valentine's Day card and Venmo her $5. That's efficient. I like that. Tennessee people are saying it's called the newsroom.
Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry.
The newsroom is the name of it.
I probably should know it.
Yeah.
Given that's where I proposed her.
Here's one that says, quick tip, if you're not buying your greeting cards at the dollar store, you're throwing money out the window. They're 2 for $1. I know, but they're not as good at the dollar store. You get what you pay for, man. I mean, and again, hey, everybody's on a budget. Some people, 2 for $1 is exactly what they want. I don't mind paying $7 or $8 for a card. It's I buy 3 cards a year. Anniversary, birthday. I guess that's 4. Maybe I should go to dollar store. I mean, think about it. It's like you got to get her a birthday card, got to get her a Valentine's Day card, got to get her a Mother's Day card. Birthday, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, or is that just 3? I'm missing something. Birthday, Valentine's, Mother's. No, that's just 3.
Anniversary.
That's 4. That's 4 cards you got to buy. Let's say they're going for $8 a card. It's $32. If you're a woman, you got $432. So anyway, everybody do to each their own. Whatever you feel is in your budget, you do what you need to do.
Generating a song as we speak, so hopefully we'll have it at some point.
Okay, very good.
Maybe coming out of the 115 break or something.
Did you throw in We Fest in Winnebago?
I did not.
I'd like to throw in We Fest in Winnebago if I could. We'll work with it. Let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, Teddy will have 534 for us. We got a very busy Common Man program today. 534. We'll follow that up at 1:15 with a keyword. And we'll squeeze in a Wolves played last night. Didn't go very well. It was close. Bodega Cat was dominant, though he just almost tried to throw the game away late. Prosper Statement tournament results and pairings coming up at 1:30, and then the legendary Mark Rosen at 2. Right now, Tennessee, you got a tease, please?
Could a first ballot Hall of Famer join a Minnesota team this summer?